Okay, so let's talk about something that can be a huge pain point for growing companies: hiring. In this explainer, we're diving into a company called GoodHiresOnly. It was built from the ground up on one core belief that for startups and agencies, the old way of hiring is just broken. If you're a founder, an entrepreneur, or a business leader, this question probably sounds painfully familiar, right? Finding the absolute right person for a critical role can feel like this endless, frustrating cycle that just stalls your growth. So, to really get what they're trying to fix, we first have to understand the core problem, this hiring dilemma that so many fast growing companies are running into out there. And this isn't just a feeling people have, the numbers back it up. A LinkedIn report found that a staggering 75% of employers say they struggle to find talent with the right skills. That's 3 out of every 4 companies. It tells you the problem is systemic. So, what's causing this? Why is it so hard? Well, according to the sources for this explainer, a big piece of the puzzle is the traditional recruitment model itself. Let's break down the flaws they see in that old school approach. The number one issue they point to is this: the whole model is often built on volume over quality. It's a numbers game. Just send a huge pile of resumes over and hope one of them sticks. It becomes less about finding a strategic partner and more about just filling a seat. And this table really lays out the difference they're pitching. On one side, you have the traditional firms, often slow, taking 45, 60, even more days. The cost can be murky with high retainers, and the focus, filling seats. Then you look at the other side, a promise of 21 days, a totally transparent flat fee, and a focus on finding a true cultural and strategic fit. Seeing these exact issues play out in the real world is what led to the idea for a completely different kind of hiring partner, one that's designed for the very companies that the old model just wasn't serving well. And this quote from the founder, Faisal Siddiqui, really gets to the heart of it. He's an HR veteran, spent nearly 2 decades in the industry, and basically came to the conclusion that startups and agencies don't just need a recruiter. They need someone to help build their legacy. So they call their solution the boutique advantage. Instead of trying to be this massive, one-size-fits-all operation, the entire focus is on being a high-touch specialist. It all comes down to 3 things meant to combat the old way: speed, affordability, and zero compromise on quality. Okay, that's the philosophy. It sounds good, right? But how does it actually work? How does this boutique idea turn into real results for a company? It's all built around this 6-step framework. And what's really telling is step 1, deep discovery. The whole idea is, before they even start looking for people, they first have to get into the DNA of your business, your culture, your vision. That way, everything is aligned from the get-go. And because of that deep work up front, the process is fast. They say it takes them, on average, just 21 days to fill a role. Now, you put that next to the industry standard of 45 to 60 days, well, that's a huge speed advantage for any company trying to move quickly. And then there's the price tag. Their model is built on a simple, transparent 8.33% flat fee. No complex retainers, no surprise commissions. It's all about making premium-level recruitment something that a startup or a smaller business can actually afford. So what's the impact of that fee structure? According to them, it can save clients up to 50% on hiring costs. I mean, cutting your cost in half compared to a big global firm, that's a massive deal for a growing business. But here's the crucial question. Does being fast and affordable mean you sacrifice quality? They say absolutely not. And they point to this number as proof: a 95% placement success rate. That shows their deep vetting process finds people who are in it for the long haul. So what does this all add up to? The whole point is to give you a totally different experience. The pitch is that you're not just hiring a vendor to close a deal, you're bringing on a partner who's actually invested in your company's future. And a really key part of that is who you're working with. You know how sometimes with the big firms you might get a junior recruiter handling your account? Well, here, they stress that every single search is led by a senior expert. In fact, the founder is personally involved in the assessments. So you can see why this model is tailor-made for these kinds of organizations. They're all moving fast. And for them, a single bad hire in a key role isn't just an expense, It's a potential disaster that can totally derail momentum and poison the culture. And this all leaves us with a final, pretty provocative thought. It kind of flips the whole idea of risk on its head. The real risk isn't hiring someone amazing who might be smarter than you. It's failing to hire them. So the question to ask yourself is your own hiring philosophy the very thing that's holding your company back?